Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. On or about 26/6/1998, the respondent filed a civil suit against the appellant for recovery of certain items of jewelry allegedly pledged with him on 2/12/1987 for the purpose of obtaining loan of a sum of rupees 7,000. Stop paragraph change. On the premise that the appellant had violated the provisions of the Madhya Pradesh Moneylenders Act, 1934 in relation to the aforementioned grant of loan, a criminal proceeding was initiated against him, which was marked as case of 1997. Stop. In the said criminal case, he admitted his guilt. Stop. A fine of rupees 150 was imposed on him. Stop. Paragraph change. The charge was read over to him, which reads as under. Stop. The charge on you is that before date 29/3/1997, complainant was paid borrowed money to you, but even after that you were demanding interest at 5%. Stop. This act is criminal offence under section 3 and 4 of Moneylenders Act. Stop. Therefore, so cause notice as to why you should not be held guilty of the said offence. Stop. Paragraph change. Respondent thereafter, as noticed herein before, filed the aforementioned civil suit before the civil judge, class 2nd, Jabalpur, being civil suit for recovery of the pledged jewelry. Stop. The said suit was decreed directing the appellant to return the said jewelry, or in the alternative a decree for a sum of rupees 20,000. Stop. Paragraph change. Aggrieved by and dissatisfied therewith, the appellant preferred an appeal there against. Stop. The said appeal was also allowed by the learned additional district judge, Jabalpur, holding that the judgment of the criminal court rendered on the basis of the purported admission of guilt made by the appellant was not admissible in evidence. Stop. An admission of the guilt on the basis of a wrong legal advice is not binding on the appellant. Stop. The suit was barred in terms of Article 17 of the Limitation Act. Stop. Paragraph change. The second appeal preferred by the respondent herein has been allowed by the High Court by reason of the impugned judgment. Stop. The High Court formulated the following substantial questions of law. Stop. Paragraph change. Whether the suit filed by the appellant was barred by limitation while the suit was filed within 3 years from the date of demand and refusal by the respondent. Whether the admission of guilt in criminal case in respect of some transaction made by respondent is admissible in the present case to the extent of the fact that there was transaction between the parties. Stop. Paragraph change. By reason of the impugned judgment, the High Court opined that the suit had been filed within the prescribed period of limitation, having been brought within a period of 3 years from the date of refusal of the demands to return the pledged ornaments. Stop. The question number 2 was also determined in favor of the respondent, holding the admission of guilt in a criminal case would be admissible in evidence being relevant to the fact in issue. Stop. Paragraph change. Mr. Sharma, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the appellant, would urge that the alleged pledge of jewelry having admittedly been made in the year 1987 and the suit filed on 26/6/1998, the same must be held to be barred by limitation. Stop. No document of pledge having been produced, service of notice by itself cannot give rise to a cause of action for filing a suit for recovery of the pledged ornaments. Stop. Paragraph change. Learned counsel appearing on behalf of the respondent, on The other hand, would contend that in view of Article 17 of the Limitation Act, 1963, the suit has rightly been found to have been instituted within the period of limitation stop. He also contends that having regard to the provisions contained in Section 43 of the Indian Evidence Act, the judgment of the criminal court was admissible in evidence stop in terms of Section 58 of the Indian Evidence Act, things admitted need not be proved stop. The suit filed by the respondent has rightly been decreed stop. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.